want to give a shout out to Lorenzo J. I do agree with them. He said, Pat, you and Soul Boy of the Year have not spoken about Tony Hsiehs and his passing. It's being reported that COVID depression played a role in his death, right? COVID depression is playing a role in his death. Okay, and CNBC, I think CNBC or MSNBC, I sent you the link, Kai.
We have talked about him internally, but I don't know if we...
Though. Not here, though. If you want to bring that up, Kai, you're like writing a paragraph, buddy. Okay, there you go. Okay. Tony Hsiehs, CNBC, press control minus a couple times. Control. Okay, there you go. Bring it down a little bit. No, the other way. Yeah, the other way. Tony Hsiehs last month's are a tragic reminder of how COVID isolation can worsen mental health. Here's how to help. So here's a guy that's in isolation. Yeah. He likes to be around people, okay? And there's a lot of weird stories that came out about, I immediately said rest in peace because I remember reading his book, Delivering Happiness, ridiculous book. I made it a book of the month, everybody to read because there's a lot of value in it. This guy's worth $500 million.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay?
No will.
Yeah, and this guy's worth $500 million. No will.
Drank a lot.
Isolated. Drank a lot. Tried different drugs.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to see where you were going with this because tragic, number one, but being isolated because of COVID was not the cause of his death. This guy was doing some weird shit, man.
But wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. I mean, you're going to being isolated is not the cause of death. You don't think people are having suicidal conversations?
That's not what I said. I'm talking about him specifically.
But let me ask you a question. Here's a question for you. How many people? You ever seen that one movie where I wish I could know what movie it is. Some of you guys may remember what movie it is. This girl who comes to work every day, she's suicidal. Every day she's suicidal. She comes to work and she goes and does her thing, doesn't talk to anybody, and then one day somebody says, "Oh, your hair looks so good today." Her level of suicide, went lower. It's a movie. I can't remember the movie. She would go to work and she was ready to kill herself and she was just like so sick of life and all this other stuff. Dude, sometimes coming to work and you're around people, you're like, "Hey, what's up, Johnny? What's up, Bobby? How you doing? How's everything?"
Right.
Take that away from people to not have interaction with a human. We need interaction.
Yes.
Dude, you're talking about you want to increase my immunity? Okay. Put me around some people a little bit for me to be able to talk to people. What about that anxiety, that depression that also goes in effect?
I love that point. And I'll give you kudos to that, and then I'll get back to Tony Hsiehs. I think Aristotle once said, we are social animals. We are social, people need to be interacting with other humans. That's just a basis of life. I mean, shout out to what we do here every day. I spoke to my buddy who's a huge, the biggest Trump supporter ever. He's out in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Scumbag Joe. He was shocked that we come to an office and work. He's like, "You guys go to work every day?"
He's probably envious.
Yeah.
Bit.
Well, I mean, maybe. He's still getting over the fact that Trump hasn't won. But he was shocked. He's like, "You hold on, what?" I was FaceTiming with him yesterday, but he can't believe we go to work.
In Texas, it's very normal.
Yes, and in red states. But Florida as well.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, going back and forth, it's just like entering two different universes from Texas to California.
Really?
It totally is, really? Man.
But with Tony Hsiehs,
yeah,
everything you talked about being social, interacting, having be like, "Hey, your hair looks nice, Pat. Your hair doesn't look as curly today. It looks nice." Getting compliments. "Hey, what's up? Yeah. Cool vest, sick vest, Tom." People crave that, need appreciation, need recognition, no doubt. So COVID has had some effects, especially on businesses, no doubt. With Tony Hsiehs specifically, and I'm a fan of his, even Jeff Bezos, who doesn't post a lot on Instagram. I don't know if you follow Bezos on Instagram. He posted a picture of Tony Hsiehs, respect. Yeah. But he was doing some weird stuff. He got down to, I think, 100 pounds. He was seeing how long he could go without eating or urinating.
Well, Adam, did you see he has this diet where it was called the alphabet diet, where one day you only eat foods that start with an A. Okay. The next day it's only B. They literally said when you got down to WXYZ, he wasn't eating at all.
Crazy.
That he lost amount of weight.
No food with an X. Yeah. But the saddest thing here, and he was doing all this weird stuff, he was sort of a pyromaniac. He had a fascination with fire. He was playing with fire. He barricaded himself in a house. The house caught on fire, choked on smoke, whatever happened. But extreme example, versus what actual normal people are living with.
You don't give isolation any credit to that? You don't give isolation 5% credit
Could have pushed him over the edge.
No, that's not what I said. Okay. I'm saying isolation is a real thing. I talked about how people are social creatures. And Aristotle, said that we are social animals and we need to interact.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you go down to 100 pounds, you do an alphabet diet, and you become a pyromaniac.
Are you asking for me to do an endorsement of alphabet diet? Because we're not doing it here. Is this another one of those shout-outs where Pat consider doing this?
I'm trying to looking for sponsors,
No,
man.
we're not doing alphabet diets. Not on Valuetainment.
No,
I'm not disagreeing with you. But by the way,
he's saying he was doing some weird stuff.
Even in the book, Delivering Happiness, he talks about the kind of parties he put together. He's just a party guy. He likes to party.
And he had
been
a
lot of drugs.
He had enablers all around him, too. No one that could tell him to stop.
Sure.
But the biggest thing, and you might want to weigh in on this, he recently, he sold his company to Amazon however many years ago for $1 billion.
Yep.
But he recently stepped down as the CEO of Zappos. He had all this money. Money can't buy happiness. He was maybe sort of lost his purpose. He was exploring with life and the meaning of life and kind of going down a wrong path. And he sort of lost his baby, which was his company.
I don't know, bro. I think you need. Yesterday we got some bad news. Okay, and I'm going to say it publicly so everybody hears this. So I don't have to say it, to a bunch of different places. So 2 weeks ago we announced we're having twins. Thanksgiving we announced we're having twins. We went to the doctor. The doctor's like, we have to see you guys ASAP. Yesterday we went and did the ultrasound. One of the babies is dead. Right?
Shut up.
You have one baby body was right there in the ultrasound. The other baby you see. Fully grown. The baby died like exactly when we announced at Thanksgiving. The baby died. Okay, so baby stayed same size. The other one has grown. Okay, so I'm saying this. I'm not saying this. But what I'm trying to tell you is this: we go to the doctor yesterday. We come back here. Jennifer comes. She's in her office. Maral goes, talks to her. There's a relationship. There's somebody that you have somebody to talk to. Mm-hmm. I am grateful for the people we're around because you have someone to say, dude, I just had a bad day today. Dude, things are not going right. All good, man. It's all going to be fine. And the spirit around you can lift you up. What do you do? So for us, believe me, listen, it's been a very weird week for us. It's not been the easiest week for us. It's been a little bit weird because a lot of things are going on. And I've been talking to Jen as we're going through this. How about the people that have things like that happen that have no one to talk to go sit there and, just, how you doing, man? You want to go have lunch? You want to go have coffee? You want to take a walk? Are you okay? Are you good? Dude, even somebody asking you, are you okay? Is everything all right? Yeah, I'm good. That release of man to man, women to women, face to face, it is liberating. Mm-hmm. You need it. People need it. So many of them don't have it. You have to have somebody to talk to. And that Zoom is not giving you the personal touch, by the way. Mm-hmm. Zoom is not the personal touch. Zoom is great technology. It's changed. Obviously, he became the businessman of the year, business person of the year with Time Magazine for what he did with, I think he was the guy that became the business person of the year for starting and for doing what he did with Zoom. But people need the personal touch. And I feel a guy like Tony Hsiehs just needed somebody to tell him, bro, you got to slow your roll. And you just sometimes need to hear that over and over and over and over again until somebody says it the right way. And you say, you know what? That was soothing. That was comforting. You're comfortable with it, right? So, yeah, look, I feel bad for people that are fully isolated away from everybody.
Yeah. Well, condolences, man.
Yeah, I appreciate
you and Jen,
that.
for sure. Really sorry to hear that. The new normal. This is becoming a new normal. Who defines that this is normal? I look at, I think people are going to grow to hate Zoom. I think people are going to grow to think of Zoom as a negative. School, my kids have been on the Zoom school for 9 months. So it's going to be a year in March, and there's no hope for them going back to school. And it's so unhealthy. I mean, you've literally given up a year of your life. I mean, and there's no end in sight. It's depressing. It's terrible.
Have you ever seen how single babies who are one child family, how different they are than those who have a sibling? You ever noticed the trend with people that are by themselves? Grew up by themselves?
Well, look at a guy like Robin Williams. It's a very famous case.
Only child syndrome.
Only child syndrome. Yeah. It's a little bit like, man, think about being the only child. It's not, like when we bought a dog, I bought two of them. You got two cats. You got two pit bulls, right? I don't know about getting one dog. Mm-hmm. It's like the guy needs company. The siblings. I don't know about one child. It's tough. And by the way, some people make a decision to do that. Some of them can't do it. So not judging anybody that your help is not aligned. Some people are just glad and thankful that they just had one. But look, that whole one child, story is, the kid can only tell mom and dad, you can't relate to, he has to have somebody on a daily basis to relate to a kid. Somebody at least that's 2, 3, 4, 5 years his age, where there's some kind of non-isolation. You're working from home all by yourself, bro? I don't know. I don't know if we know the side effects of this long term. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
we were holding a meeting, right? And my guys are saying, well, what do we do with this? There's a meeting. I'm supposed to be in San Antonio this week. And the conversation was, they're doing it at this place, a real nice place, Lake Tahoe, beautiful home. We did an event 2 years ago. They had it locked in. Everything was set up. And then they get the notice. I'm supposed to be in Lake Tahoe this Friday for an event, and I'm supposed to be in Lake Tahoe next week for Christmas. So we get the word this week for Lake Tahoe. Okay? What do? I said, people need to be around people. Figure out a way to go to a state that allows you to be around other people. Yeah, follow the 6 feet, the whole 9. So guess what state they're doing their event in? Right. Texas. Guess what city? San Antonio. Hotel found it, opened it up. Great, they're going to follow the guidelines. They'll be in the same room together because people need company. And I'm doing a kickoff meeting beginning of the year, January. I think a Sunday, Monday kickoff meeting. Right after New Year's, I'm holding a kickoff meeting. I've been doing this for a long time. This year, we're doing it live here in Texas, Dallas, at a hotel. We're going to follow the 6 feet guideline. Yeah. But we're doing it because people need to be around other people.
I think that shows leadership for these companies that say, hey, we can interact. And you know what? Here's the last thing I'll say. You look at California, which has shut down everything. New York, which is on the verge of shut down everything. It's not working. It's not like that is resulting in these numbers radically going down. So you look at this objectively and you're saying, okay, they're putting all these harsh restrictions on you. You can't interact. You can't go to work. You can't go to school. You can't go to church. And yet it's not moving the needle one bit.
Well, your kids are all in school, right?
Now they are. Yes, they're all in school now. 2 of them were not. They had to shut it down for a couple weeks, but now they're all going to school. Yeah, but the high school is shut down.
Still
fully. Yeah, the high school is shut down.
So the younger kids, a
little bit more.
I mean, these
comfortable.
kids need to be around other kids. I mean, imagine going to school.
I can't even tell you. Like I remember when my son was like 60 days into it. He's at home isolation. He's like he was losing it one day. I mean, he was like completely losing it one day.
Billy or Tico?
Tico. He was like, man, I got to be, what's going on, Daddy? What do we do wrong? Because I said, Daddy, you didn't do anything wrong. This regulation. I want you to be around your friends. So they were coming to the office. They were happy to see you guys. They were coming here like, oh, what's up? Walking around, just like seeing human beings. Yeah. Oh, there are people out there. That kind of, but not a lot of people can do that. You can bring your kids to work.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people
can do that. And then you compound it with there's no other releases. You can't go to the park. You can't work out. You can't go to the gym. You can't play in your organized sports leagues. It's terrible.
Yeah, I have a nephew. He's 9 years old. And my sister's son. That's like my little best friend. They've only had one kid, and I make a point to make sure that I'm hanging out with that guy. I'm bringing him around all of my best friends' kids. Like, listen, you got to interact here.
Yeah.
Because I saw that he was becoming a little like, that's my stuff. Don't touch it. I'm like, listen, buddy. Like, I'll house all your shit. I don't think like we're not playing that game. We're not playing the selfish kid game. You're gonna learn how to share. You're going to learn how to lose properly, like I'm not going to just let you win. Only child syndrome is a real thing, and you got to teach them. Right?
I'm going to give the complete opposite. Somebody just gave $5, and they said, my son is an only child, but he loves the online school for the flexibility, and now he spends more time with his friends. There are some stories like that, to be complete opposite of what we're talking about. And then Nova Ture just gave $10, and I have an online business. I chill and work from home all the time, barely have friends, haven't been outside in literally months. I'm one of the crazy few who can live like this. Ha, ha, ha. There are people that can live like that.
Introverts.
There are people that can live like that.
Pat, I think Adam could be a good dad. That was seriously. I think
you've
got some
I think
great
Adam
potential there, man.
is. I think
get
Adam,
to work.
I think Adam will make a wonderful dad. Adam will make a wonderful dad. But when it comes down to marriage, man, you fall in love emotionally, but you gotta marry logically. Mm-hmm. You fall in love emotionally, but you gotta marry logically. It's a
That's my biggest problem.
Yeah, I know. You want to get married.
Very emotional. There's no logic going in. Dating the wrong women.
Well, listen, if you're looking on Tinder, you're going to just constantly fall in love emotionally.
Tinder,
it's just a bunch of emotion.
It's South Beach, bro. It's
South Beach. Not. It's OnlyFans. It's OnlyFans. It's what you told me yesterday. It's OnlyFans. It's your favorite app.
We went there.